another video for IniziCraft. Is this gonna be like an introduction video?
I'm so happy I recorded that just then.
Oh no!
I'm so unhappy I came into this call. I should have just not.
Oh.
Should have not.
See, the glorious thing is, because unlike game, I actually edit stuff.
Okay, I edit stuff too. I add fade outs at the end of the video. That takes lots of muchos effort. You know how hard it is to get videos to properly fade out?
Not very.
You're right. That's why I can do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to.
Oh, maybe between the two of us we can make a proper video. Hello everyone. Today we are back on IniziCraft to bring you a preview of one of the new plugins that has been nice enough to grace our humble server. I am joined here by the unnamed engineer, our lead dev, as well as Sir Lawlington, who is the creator of said plugin and newest member of our staff. So if you want to give just an overview of what your plugin's about.
Alright, so my plugin basically adds a bunch of these multi-block structures and machines that all do different things. They all run on power, which you can get from a bunch of these machines over here. And then you basically connect those up with glass cables and do all sorts of fancy things. And we'll get into that in a second.
So why don't we start with how we actually make power, then move on to what you can do with your unlimited power.
Yes. Okay, so simplest machine, probably the first one you'll build is this one, which is a generator. And it's just a regular coal-fired generator. So if I fill it up with some coal blocks, it'll start burning in there, as you'll see. And it is now generating power. If you shift right click on it, you'll see a status of its fuel, how much fuel time it has left, and how much power is in its internal buffer.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, at the moment it's empty. Now it's starting to fill up if you do it again. You'll see it says it has power 2048 or however many are in there. Then we have this, which is a solar panel.
Shiny.
Yes, it generates electricity only during the day, as long as it's exposed to sunlight. But it's not very powerful, but if you have a few of these, it can easily replace one of these.
So according to this, it generates 16 power units, question mark?
16 power units per game take, yes. So that times 20 it will give you how much it's generating per second.
How much does this fire generator do?
This one does 32 per game take. So again, times 20 gives you how much it is per second.
So the equivalent of 2 solar panels.
Yeah, the equivalent of 2 solar panels at noon.
Okay.
Right, because in the morning it generates less, and in the evening it also generates less.
Yeah. So
it increases slowly in the morning to noon, and then slowly decreases again, and then at night it just generates 0.
All right.
Over here is the ultimate power supply. This is akin to a nuclear reactor. We
from
have
IKEA.
It submerged. Yes, from IKEA. It's submerged in water at the moment because that's basically how it is the most efficient and the safest to use. And it takes these fuel rods in this chest.
I can be the test dummy.
All
Our
right.
glorious head developer has volunteered to kill himself.
All right.
Okay.
So if I put the fuel rod inside of it, it will consume said fuel rod.
And then cool
And
particles
start
will
to create a poison effect for anyone nearby not wearing full leather armor.
Yeah, so the way to get around this is to wear full leather armor if you want to put some on.
I'll get you some.
Here.
Oh, you got some.
Let's just hope I make it to the leather armor in time.
So what happens if you don't bury the thing in water?
Basically the water has two effects. One, it blocks the radiation that it gives off. So, the more water there is around it, then the less effect it will have. And other blocks, such as lapis or iron blocks or even prismarine, will block it somewhat, but water is pretty much the easiest thing to do. Iron is the most effective at blocking it, and diamond blocks will actually increase the strength of the radiation, so don't use those.
If you want to
That
kill
also
your
means you can
neighbor,
yeah. That also means you can essentially build a death ray with this that has a range of about 20 blocks.
no one
But,
will
you know.
notice you setting up a reactor.
Yeah,
Outside
no.
their house.
Yeah. But yeah, these fuel rods are somewhat expensive to make, but they're also very powerful. Over the lifespan of one of these fuel rods, you're basically getting around 200 million energy units, rather than the rather slow generation of the coal-fired or the solar panel. So, if you build one of these, you're basically set.
So if we move down
Um,
this line here,
Yes.
then... So explain what the purpose of this battery box.
Okay, so this battery box, we'll get into that later, but basically you can charge up emeralds so they store energy, and if you put them into this, then they will feed the energy back into your
All right.
back into this machine, so you can then use it in other machines again.
So if anyone's
Um,
ever played Tekkit or any other mod pack known to mankind, the same purpose.
Yeah, it's like the I think it's RE battery from Industrial Craft or similar items, kind of like that. Over here, moving along, we have two energy cells. This is a small one that's pretty easy to build, but it doesn't store very much energy. Well, it's quite significant for early game, but in later game it doesn't really store all that much. For later game, we have these, which store a lot more and can output their power a lot more quickly, but they're also much larger and much more expensive to build. So I'll connect this one up first, and as you'll see, there's now red particles going through the glass, which means that there is power going through them.
Fancy.
And over here you will also see that there's energy going through it, which basically means that all of these machines are now charging up as well, so that you can use them. Also, flip this lever right here. One thing to note with the wiring is that you see how these machines have gold blocks on them, all the ones that output energy. These gold blocks are basically the power output, and the bedrock on top, or in these cases underneath the machines, are where you connect the wire to power them.
Okay. So does the bedrock generate by itself, or players
Yes,
don't
the
have to go
bedrock
out and
generates-
mine?
No. You do not have to go mine a piece of bedrock. That would be very difficult, tedious, or risky to do, or all three.
And or impossible.
Yes. I mean, it's not exactly impossible. You can blow it up with TNT, but you need a lot of it, and you would forever scar the landscape. So don't do that. It will place itself, and it will also automatically remove if you break the machine, as you can see.
All right.
So
And is all that energy lost in there? Yes, it is.
yeah, it is.
So don't swing around your pickaxe.
Yeah, if you break one of these big ones while it's fully charged, that can be quite painful. But yeah.
Right?
So now we'll get into what you can actually do with this energy, because what's the point, right? First thing you can do is we have this, which is a powered furnace. which does most of the things that your regular furnace can do, but it does it faster and better. So, for example, if we put iron ore in it, say 4 pieces of it just for demonstration's sake, it will start smelting them very quickly, and you get twice as many ingots as you usually would. It does the same thing for gold, but you can't smelt any other ores in it. You can also smelt stone or stone bricks. It turns it back into regular stone. You can smelt sand. Every single block of sand gives you 2 pieces of glass. And you can also melt down things like iron doors, iron armor, chainmail armor, gold armor, tools,
All right.
and all that. Basically, most things, it can't smelt food though, so don't put your food in it. Over here, we have basically an alchemy machine. It can turn iron into gold, gold into iron, redstone into glowstone, and vice versa.
It can also
Diamonds
turn
to emeralds.
diamonds into emeralds, but it
Yes.
cannot turn emeralds into diamonds.
Yeah, the default configuration was that it can also turn coal blocks into diamonds and emeralds into diamonds, but we've disabled that on the server for balancing reasons.
And it's obvious what stuff you can stick in it because it will just not let you do it.
Yeah, if
If you
it's
can't.
not, if you're not supposed to put it in, it won't let you put it in. All right, moving along, we have this. This is more of a thing that yes, it is. This is more of a thing for automation, I guess. And it basically automatically crafts items.
But I've actually never messed with this. So you
I'm
explain
actually
how
not
this
sure
works.
why it's not putting the iron boots in there. It's a
Or
little
gold boots, there we go.
finicky still. Yeah,
Oh, no, okay.
it's a little finicky still. Okay, just crafted iron gold nuggets.
Okay.
But for example, let's say we want to make lots of stone brick because something we're doing requires a lot of it.
And you're too lazy to just do it in your inventory.
There's more if you have, say, a furnace making stone and then you automatically want to convert it, right?
Yeah, okay.
You can put it there and it'll show up in the middle there. You see stone bricks. And you put stone in it in the top right and it will begin to automatically craft. It does one crafting operation every 2.5 seconds.
As you
And-
can see it using power.
Yes, it's using quite a bit of power actually, so early game this might not be something you'd want to do, but it might be worth doing in the late game. Over here, we have an automatic farm. So what you do is you basically put seeds in it. It will automatically make sure that the soil is tilled and automatically plant and harvest the crops you put in it. It can do wheat, potatoes, carrots, beetroot, and it can also do oak trees. Not on the server though, don't do that. It'll break. Yeah, because we have custom trees on the server, so it'll completely wreck the machine.
I would pay to see that though, but it's not a good idea.
Yeah, not with your own machine, right?
Yeah. Go find your neighbor's machine.
Yeah. Yeah. Over here we have another machine that... Yes, it's basically a turret. You can configure how these behave. To an extent, there are commands to do this. By default, it will shoot at any enemies you have, including townie enemies and hostile mobs. It will always shoot at hostile mobs. So if we spawn in a creeper, can we spawn a creeper?
No.
Oh.
Just configure it to shoot at me.
All right. So wait, it's your turret, so I can't.
Oh.
Fine. I'll submit myself to execution.
No, wait. We'll just execute
Oh,
game.
Yay. Much better idea.
Yeah. So stew/bm add enemy, and then gamefruitpulp.
The other owner of the server has managed to appear for testing.
The other owner, as if I don't have 90% of the content. Oh, I'm in game mode 1. Hold on here. There you go. They can watch. Oh my god.
It's quite effective.
Yes. Might be worth mentioning there are upgrades in it right now. The diamonds.
Wrong person.
The diamonds increase the damage. If you
Hold on, I gotta remove enemy.
Feels bad.
Yeah.
And you said you wanted this to be non-derp.
Yeah. Yeah, but the diamonds basically increase the amount of damage it does. The ender pearls increase the rate of fire, and the emerald increases the range. The diamonds and emeralds also increase the cost per shot, though, quite significantly. So make sure that this thing has a good power supply if you do plan to upgrade it. All right. Next thing is this machine right here. This machine energizes iron fences and iron blocks that are connected to it, and that basically causes it to damage any players or mobs that come into contact with said iron or iron blocks or iron fences. So if I flip this lever here, and you'll see that our test dummy here is taking quite significant damage. So disconnect that again so you can get his stuff back.
So how much energy does this use?
So
Damage.
basically, I like to think of it in terms of items of coal that you burn in a fire generator. Every single hit on an entity takes one piece of coal's worth of energy. So it is quite expensive to run if a lot of things are touching it, but it's absolutely free to use as long as nothing's touching or taking damage from it.
Alright, so it's only uses power when you...
It only uses power if it's actually doing damage to something. So if I stand here, it's trying to damage me. I'm in creative right now, so it's not actually hurting me. But you see it's consuming energy, and I move away from it and it stops. There, it just refilled itself completely. Now it stopped, and now I stand next to it again, and it's starting to consume again.
Alright.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yes. Over here we have a powered spawner. We can't actually use this right this very second because it also takes mob souls, which I don't have right now.
We have a soul extractor, but we can't spawn mobs in this world.
Yeah, we also can't spawn hostile mobs. We might be able to spawn friendly
just
mobs
try
in
to
a
pig.
second. Yeah, we can do a pig.
I just tried, didn't work.
Well, because it doesn't have any souls in it, right? So, if I go ahead and, I guess, put a stack of blaze rods in this thing, or zombie flesh, doesn't really matter. We'll start converting those items into mob souls. Mobs will also drop these when they are killed by a player. They will not drop them if they are killed by not a player.
AKA turret.
Yeah, important thing to note about turrets. Mobs killed by a turret will not drop anything. But yeah, the souls will also not drop if a mob dies, for example, by fall damage or drowning in lava.
Alright.
Alright. So we have a bunch of souls now. We can now put these into this machine. It will consume them, And if you shift right click on it, you can see that it now has 256 stored soul value. And now if you put a raw pork chop in it, it will spawn pigs. 2 of them.
Pork. Fancy.
Yep. Alright, so...
Well, and here's our example for they drop mob souls when killed by a player.
Go for it.
Did you get the shiny feather?
Yes. Alright.
Does game drop game souls when killed by a player?
No, I could actually implement that though.
That
Okay.
should be a thing.
And then you get little game fruit pulps running around.
Okay.
That would actually be hilarious. Alright, so we've kind of already demonstrated the soul extractor. Next thing is this thing right here. And this is the aforementioned charger that can charge these emeralds and turn them into energy crystals. So, as you can see, it is starting to fill that up with energy.
Much emerald.
Yes. It only does one at a time, and it only does about 16,000 energy units per 2.5 seconds. So it's sort of slow, but you can just leave this running, and it'll eventually charge all of them. You won't really need these all that often, unless you get into mining drills, which I'll demonstrate later. I don't actually have one built at the moment. Here's the solar extractor, and this machine right here is how you actually get that reactor fuel. So if you have a reactor, you actually need to build one of these. And the way it works is actually quite simple. You need a nether star. You drop it in, and it will start processing it. And this will take about 10 minutes.
So
Okay.
next up, we have this expensive looking machine.
Yes, so this is a teleporter, and it can teleport any items or players or mobs that are in this little 3x3 area in the middle of it. Yep. Across any distance and even across dimensions. It's quite expensive to run. Alright. Are you coming with us or not?
No.
Alright.
I've never actually seen it do items, so.
Alright. Bye-bye.
And they're gone. And they're over here.
And I'll send the items back.
So I see that inside it we have destinations, then paper, and then
Yep. So every single
the log.
teleporter has an ID, which you can also see by, again, shift right clicking on it. And then the way you configure that destination is by naming a piece of paper with that destination and putting it into the teleporter on the top left.
okay.
If you put paper on the bottom left, this is optional, but you can actually do this. It will actually log every single teleport, departing or outbound. Departing or incoming. Inbound, yeah. Showing exactly what was teleported and when. Just make sure that you empty this out every so often, because otherwise it'll fill up, and once it's full, it'll actually ignore the it'll actually not log anything until you empty it out again.
All right.
Yeah.
So ignore the hack block right there.
Yeah, so this is something for server owners.
Testing purposes.
So you guys, this is, for example, if you want to set up server-owned teleporters, right? to different parts of the world, you can set these energy cells up, which provide infinite energy, but you can't build these in survival. One, because it takes bedrock, which you can't really get, and also because you probably won't have permission to do so.
Yeah, you don't have permission to.
Yeah. If you try, it'll just not let you.
I don't want to alarm you guys, but we appear to have a pig infestation over here.
Yeah, I
the
just
demonstrator
heard
is
that coming in.
putting through a mob.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, oh my.
Yeah, there appears to be some
Oh my.
problem. We might need to call an exterminator.
I know
If only we
Dave.
had some sort of fence to keep them in, or make fried
Also,
chicken or
we
fried pork.
need a test dummy.
Well, I'm here now, so.
Um,
Oh no!
go into survival. Oh no! Don't put him over there.
I'm dead now.
Game teleport to me. All right, step inside this.
This feels nice.
That has a nice animation.
Yeah, a little bit of toxic goop in the morning feels quite good.
Yeah. Stay in it.
His arm is gone. Oh. Why is he in it still? Oh.
I'm dead now. Yeah.
Okay, let's finish up
All right.
this last bit.
All right. So these two machines are actually add-ons to the original plugin. First one here
good
is...
thing to know. Don't touch the iron blocks on the fuel rod thing. Those will also kill you.
Yes.
Yeah. They do ouch. But yeah, so we have this machine right here, which is a printer, and I'll go ahead and demonstrate that first. So what you do is you fill it up with paper and ink on the left side. Then you put print instructions in the middle, and then you press the button on it. And I'll quickly fill it up with some print instruction. Does anybody have a picture that they want me to print?
I'll get you one. Give me a second.
All right. How big should I make it?
Make it a nice 3x3.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Am I putting the picture in, or?
I'll do it. Just send me it.
Okay. There you go.
That is a very good picture.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
So there are instructions of how to do this on our wiki. So
Yeah.
won't go into detail about it right now. But basically, we press the button. This turns yellow to show that it's busy. And if you look inside, it'll start consuming the ink and paper, and it will slowly but surely output maps. So every single map consumes 8 ink and 8 pieces of paper. And now we
We'll
can
see
place
what
all
the-
of these.
Glorious images.
Yes. glorious.
Oh, glorious.
For all your memeing needs.
Yes.
The printer.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, and finally we have this machine right here, which is basically the storage portion of an ME system for those of you who play modded. For those of you who don't, basically what it does is you connect these chests to it using quartz blocks, and it will then list all of the items in those chests here in all in one place. You can also, if you look, and you can also take items out and place items in the system with this. So if I put items down here in the bottom left slot, it'll slowly, every 2.5 seconds, take one stack and place it into the internal inventory. And then you can hover over them and see how many of each item you have. And if you click on it, if you want to go ahead and do that, Star.
Yep. It brings it down to the lower right-hand corner, or you can just take it out.
Yeah. Basically. You can still put items into these chests and take them out normally. It'll just update regularly. Show all the items that are in it. There are also several different filters that you can use to sort through your stuff. But we don't really have enough stuff in this one to show that right this very second.
Or you can just click the filter tab and it will cycle through.
Yeah.
And is there a way to reset it back to no filter without going all the way through?
No, not currently.
Okay.
But yeah, that pretty
You
much
can
sums
make
it up.
that right click.
Right click cycles backwards.
Yeah. Then middle click.
Don't
So,
know
like-
if middle click actually works in survival.
It does.
It does.
Oh, okay.
So like Sir said, diagrams on how to build these as well as other information is available on the wiki on the server website, which I assume one of us will remember to put that in the description.
Yes.
And there'll likely be short videos coming out on how to build each one individually in the future as well.
All
All right, well, that's going to be everything for this video. If you guys enjoyed and you haven't checked out the IniziCraft server yet, and you've just been watching us demo a plugin you didn't even know existed, that's good, because you can come and check us out. Our IP will be included in the description down below. It's IniziCraft.net if you don't want to look in the description. Additionally, the link to the server forum will be in the description as well, so you can come and see what we're talking about with the forum. Aside from that, that is everything. Thank you, Sir, and AFCT and Star for doing this.
For doing your job.
For doing my job, yes. Doing the PR guy's job. That's pretty much everything. If you're not subscribed and you want to hit that subscribe button, it'd be greatly appreciated. And if you want to hit a like and maybe share the channel or the server with some of your friends, that would be appreciated as well. But that's everything. We will catch you guys all next time on the IniziCraft server channel.